The story of D.B. Cooper is more than an unsolved crime. It's an American myth, a tale of audacity, mystery, and a disappearing act so perfect it still haunts investigators half a century later. On a cold November afternoon in 1971, a man boarded a plane with a briefcase, a calm voice, and a plan that would make him one of the most famous fugitives in history. The man called Dan Cooper. He wrote the name Don Cooper on his ticket, though the world would later misprint it as D.B. Cooper. Witnesses described him as calm, polite, and strangely composed. He took his seat, ordered a bourbon and soda, and waited. When the plane reached cruising altitude, he handed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. She assumed it was a phone number, but Cooper leaned in and quietly told her she should read it. Inside was a message that changed everything. He had a bomb. The bomb and the demands. Cooper opened his briefcase just enough to reveal wires and red cylinders. His demands were precise: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a refueled aircraft ready to fly him to Mexico City. He spoke calmly, never raising his voice. The crew relayed his instructions to authorities, who scrambled to gather the ransom money and equipment. Passengers remained unaware as the plane descended into Seattle, where the exchange would take place. The Seattle Exchange. On the ground, Cooper released the passengers in exchange for the money and parachutes. He kept the crew aboard and ordered the pilots to take off again. The destination, Reno. But Cooper had no intention of reaching Nevada. He had something else in mind, something daring, reckless, and almost impossible. Into the storm. As the Boeing 727 flew south, Cooper instructed the crew to fly low and slow. Rain hammered the fuselage. Winds tore across the wings. Somewhere over the dense forests of Washington, Cooper opened the rear stairs. The crew felt the sudden pressure shift, and then he jumped. Into the freezing night. Into the storm. Into legend. The immediate aftermath. The moment Cooper vanished, the FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Agents scoured the wilderness. Helicopters searched the treetops. Rivers were dragged. Cabins investigated. But the storm had swallowed any trace of Cooper. No parachute. No body. No footprints. Nothing. The money trail. For years, the ransom money remained missing until 1980, when a young boy found a bundle of decaying $20 bills along the Columbia River. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom, but the discovery only deepened the mystery. How did the money get there? Was it planted, carried by the river, or was Cooper nearby that night? Suspects emerge. Over the decades, several suspects captured public imagination. Richard McCoy, a Vietnam veteran, hijacked a plane in a similar fashion months later. Dwayne Webber allegedly confessed on his deathbed. Robert Rackstraw, a former paratrooper with a shadowy past, became a favorite among amateur sleuths. Each man fit parts of the puzzle, but none fit all of it. The FBI investigated hundreds of leads, but every trail eventually went cold. Did Cooper survive? Experts remain divided. Some believe Cooper died in the jump, overwhelmed by the storm, the darkness, and the brutal terrain. Others insist he survived, slipping quietly into a new life. The parachutes he chose were functional. The clothing he wore was appropriate. And his calm demeanor suggested experience. If he lived, he may have blended into society, carrying the secret of the world's most famous escape. The case closes. In 2016, after nearly 45 years, the FBI officially closed the case. They acknowledged that Cooper's identity may never be known. But closing the case did not close the legend. If anything, it made Cooper more mythic, a symbol of rebellion, mystery, and the allure of the unknown. Cultural impact. D.B. Cooper is now part of American folklore. His story appears in documentaries, books, films, and endless speculation. He represents the perfect mystery, a crime with no resolution, a man with no identity, and an escape with no trace. Cooper's legend thrives because it defies closure. He is the riddle that refuses to be solved. Final reflection. In the end, D.B. Cooper is more than a Skyjacker. He is a symbol of possibility, the idea that someone could slip through the cracks of history and become myth. His story reminds us that some mysteries endure not because they cannot be solved, but because we prefer them unsolved. Cooper stepped into the sky and became a legend. And legends, by nature, never land. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and consider subscribing to my channel.